It's our second lecture on pedagogy section. We are covering the pedagogy section of FDE EST examination test. We already have a first lecture on pedagogy in which we covered the child development section, in which we covered the 15 MCQs, which are the most repeated and the past EST pedagogy repeated MCQs. If you forgot to watch that video, you have to watch that video first, then move on towards this lecture number 2 on pedagogy. Okay. So in this we have to discuss about the educational psychology. Okay, so we will cover all the pedagogy sections in our YouTube videos. But if you want these button notes, because we made it notes for you, this is a section of total you can see 27 pages with a collection of total 200 MCQs, which are the most repeated and the past EST pedagogies MCQs. By doing these MCQs, you will surely take 90 to 95% in your pedagogy section. Okay, because you know that 20% is your pedagogy, 20% is your English section, and remaining 60% is your subject base. We will also cover English 20% in our upcoming videos. We will also cover that, and we will also cover our remaining subjects like chemistry, biology, mathematics, and all other courses. We already covered the physics section. We have a total of 7 lectures on FDE EST physics in our playlist of FDE EST. You can also watch if you are a physics student. And now we are starting the pedagogy section, lecture number 2. So let's start with the educational psychology. If you want this PDF physically, then you can contact us. I will left my WhatsApp number in the description below, or our WhatsApp channel. You can directly contact us and got this PDF notes, this button notes in a very minimum price. Okay, so let's start with the education psychology in the pedagogy section. So what is basically educational psychology? Educational psychology is basically the study of how people learn. Okay, how people learn means how students, how young generation learn and retain knowledge. Okay, how they gain knowledge by how they learn. Okay, first of all, definitely they learn, and how they retain knowledge. Okay, this is known as the educational psychology, primarily in education setting like classroom. Okay, this field involves the application of psychological principles to understand the cognitive, emotional, and social process involved in learning and teaching. So, educational psychology also includes the understanding of the cognitive, emotional, and the social processes which involves in the learning of students as well as for the teaching processes. Okay, so let's start. The key points in the educational psychology is mentioned below. The first one is the learning theories. So, learning theories basically understanding different approaches of how people learn. So, the teacher must have to know how about the approaches how people learn, such as their behaviorism, okay, their cognitive means reasoning, thinking, and these abilities, questioning abilities, problem solving abilities are in cognitive, and their constructivism. So these all lies in the learning theories. So how people learn, okay, their behaviorism, cognitivism, and constructivism. So development psychology. So studying how children development cognitively, emotionally, and socially with respect to time. Okay, and motivations, investigating what drives student to learn. Okay, so motivation is one of the very important factor which basically investigating which what drives the student to learn and how to enhance their intrinsic motivation too. So okay, so to enhance the intrinsic of internal and external motivations of students, you must have to provide the motivational skills to the students. Okay, and classroom management must very important factor. Techniques, there are used to some techniques for maintaining the productive learning environment in a classroom. Okay, and assessments and evaluations must be which is for matters of learning student. Okay, measuring the learning students, because teacher deliver lesson, and if teacher wants to measure the students learning, how they learn, and what's their knowledge ability, so students teachers take assessments and evaluations. Okay, so to measure the students learning and educational outcome, assessment should be taken. Now the instructional strategies, effective teaching methods. Okay, instructional strategies to teacher must have to be adopt, like effective teaching methods and instructional designs. Now special education is basically, this is instructional strategies and special education addressing the ends needs of students with disabilities and learning differences. Okay, so special education is very very important, basically addressing the needs of students, what student needs, and if they are disabled, so with their disabilities and learning differences, they have to be discussed in class. Educational measurement and testing. Okay, development and analysis tests should be taken as a base of assessments, so to test the students. Okay, cognitive processes, which involve study memory of students, their problem solving, their thinking, their critical thinking, their reasoning processes. This all involve in cognitive processes. Okay, and social and emotional learning, understanding the role of social interaction, how they interact socially and they interact emotionally. Okay, so this all in this section. Again, we have to cover the 15 MCQs in the section of educational psychology. So let's start. These are the most relevant and the past most repeated pedagogy MCQs from your this section, educational psychology. So by doing this, you will surely got 90% in your EST exams, inshallah. Okay. So which theory of learning emphasizes the role of reinforcement and punishment in the shaping behavior? Okay, so which theory, they're asking about which theory of learning emphasizes the role of reinforcement and punishment in the shaping behavior. So punishment in for shaping a student behavior is very very bad, not, and reinforcement is also. So which theory is that? This is due to the behaviorism. Okay, due to the behaviorism of the students, because sometimes behaviorism is very very bad of students, so this leads to the reinforcement and punishment of the shaping behavior. Okay, so behaviorism is the reason behind this learning emphasizes leads towards reinforcement and punishment in the shaping behavior. Who is considered as the father of classical conditioning? Now, who is known as the father of classical conditioning? He's telling about the father of classical conditioning. James Paddock is not the father. James Paddock basically tells about the in multiple intelligence. Okay, we discussed in our previous lecture number one of pedagogy sections, and the correct answer is this: Ivan Pavlov. Okay, this is the father of classical conditioning. Okay, according to Pettit. Okay, now telling about Pettit, which is one of the James Pettit. Okay, according to Pettit, which state of cognitive development is characterized by the abstract and logical thinking? So cognitive development, is very critical, and this is due to the abstract and logical thinking. According to Pettit, which stage is this? So according to Pettit, this is the formal operational. Okay, this is according to formal operation according to Pettit. Okay, this is not this is not motor, this is not concrete operational, this is formal operation. Concrete operation is different when there is concrete additional. Okay, so according to Pettit, the cognitive development that abstracts and logical thinking is basically the formal operation. Okay, which concept refers to the student's belief in their ability to succeed in specific situations or accomplish a task. So, what concept refers? Which concept basically refers a student to believe in their own abilities and to succeed in the situation and they accomplish a task. So, this is basically the self efficiency. Okay, this is the self-efficacy. The correct answer is answer B. Not self-concept, no self-esteem, no self-actualization. The only answer is self-efficacy, which is the concept which a student believes that they have an ability to succeed in a specific situation and they must accomplish their task. So the specific efficacy is the correct answer. Which type of assessment is conducted during the international process to monitor students' progress? So which type of assessment is conducted during the instructional process to monitor student progress, to check the student progress? What external process to monitor and to check the type of assessment? So which type of assessment to be conducted? Either it is summative, diagnostic, not diagnostic is not, formative. Yes, the correct answer is formative assessment should be conducted for the instructional process to monitor the students. Okay. What is the main focus of Vygotsky's theory of cognitive development? Now, this is about the Vygotsky's theory of cognitive development. Everyone have their own cognitive development theories, but Vygotsky's theory is stage of moral development. No, social interaction and cultural context. This is the Vygotsky's theories according to cognitive development. Okay, not stage of moral development, not history of need, not classical conditioning. Only is the social interaction and cultural context. Okay, how they socially interact, how the cultural context develop there. So this is according to the Vygotsky's theory of cognitive development. Which of the following best describes intrinsic motivation? Because you know that there are two types of motivations, either intrinsic or extrinsic. Okay, so which of the following best describes the intrinsic motivation? So the answer is a motivation driven by the external rewards. No, this not gonna enhance your intrinsic motivation. Motivation driven by the internal certification and satisfaction. Yes, because you have to increase your intrinsic motivation. So to increase your intrinsic personal motivation, so there should be must be your internal satisfaction on that. So if you have internal satisfaction, so you are internally motivated means internal intrinsic motivation. So the correct answer is answer B. What is the term of the mental process of organizing and interpreting sensory information? So sensory information is due to by their sense. Okay. So which is the term for the mental process of organizing and interpreting sensor? So to increase the mental process of organizing and interpret sensory information. So the correct answer is perceptions, not yes. So the correct answer is perceptions because not sensations. Sensations is not for in this case. They are mentally process of organization. So that's why no cognitive, no institutions. So the correct answer is prescription. This is the only term for the mental process of organizing and interpreting sensory information. Okay, prescription. Which learning theory emphasize the active role of learners? So telling us about which learning theory basically emphasizes the active role of learners in the constructing their and own understanding in constructing their own understanding. So behaviorism is not, cognitivism is not, constructivism is yes. So the correct answer is constructivism. So in this constructivism, where your learning theory emphasizes the active role of learners, okay, in constructing their own understanding. So to construct your own understanding, so you have to use the learning theory which is the constructivism, okay, to construct your own understandings by yourself, not by your teachers. Okay, which type of learning involves observing and imitating the behavior of others? Okay, which type of learning involves, so he is asking for the type of learning, which type of learning that involves observing and imitating the behavior of others. So we have to observe the behaviors of others. So this is called as the classical conditioning, not operant conditioning, not observational learning. Yes. So this is observational learning as the name stands to observe others. Okay. Who proposed the hierarchy of needs theory? Who proposed the hierarchy of needs theory? So what is needs theory? Basically, this hierarchy of needs theory we know that is proposed by Abraham Maslow. Okay, not Eric Erikson, not Carl Rogers, not Sigmund Freud. So the correct answer is Abraham Maslow. So they propose the hierarchy of needs theory. Which education psychologist is known for the theory of multiple intelligence? Okay, which educational psychologist known for their type or theory of multiple intelligence? Okay, we already discussed that Howard Gardner is basically for the theory of multiple intelligence. Okay, what is the term for decrease in reason to a stimulus after repeated presentations? So what is the term? So he's asking about the term for a decrease in response. Okay, to stimulus after repeated presentations. So this is called as the habitation. So this is habitation is basically the term for a decrease in response for stimulus after repeated presentations. So if you are repeated presentations they give, so the term which got decrease in response is the habitations. Which type of reinforcement, okay, reinforcement scheduled is the most effective for maintaining behavior over time? So which is the most effective from below? Fixed ratio schedule, no. Variable ratio schedule, fixed interval schedule, or variable interval schedule? So the correct answer is fixed ratio schedule. If you have fixed ratio schedule, then this type of reinforcement schedule is the most effective of maintaining the behavior of students over the time being. Okay, so the correct answer is variable ratio schedule. Okay, and what is the primarily focus of humanistic education? What is the primary focus of humanistic education? So the primary focus of humanistic education is that so personal growth and self actualization. So the correct answer is answer. You can see here C, personal growth and this self actualization. So primary focus of humanistic education is not academic achievement, is not behavioral modification, is basically the personal growth and self actualization. Their cognitive development is not the primarily. Their cognitive development should be secondary but not primarily. The primary factor that the humanistic education is that their personal growth and self-actualization. Okay, so that's it for today's lecture number 2 of pedagogy section. We already covered first lecture on pedagogy in our previous video, and that's the end of our second lecture of pedagogy. In our upcoming video, lecture number 3 of pedagogy, we will discuss about the testing, teaching methods and strategies. What are the teaching methods and strategies that teachers have to adopt to learn the learners very perfectly or imperfectly, how it affects imperfectly and how teacher affected effectively. So the way of teaching methods and strategies we will discuss in lecture number 3 of pedagogy section. So that's all for today's lecture. We will also upload the English part in our upcoming videos. And if you want these notes physically, you can contact me. We are just leaving our WhatsApp number in the description below along with our WhatsApp channel. So you can directly contact us we will definitely provide you in a sake of a little price. Okay, these are not only the pedagogies. We have covered all the syllabus like English, maths, biology, chemistry, all other subjects tests along with English. So we have better notes for you. By doing these notes, you will easily got 90% in your examination, because these are the most repeated and the past FDE EST test MCQs. Okay, so that's all for today. Till then, take care. Don't forget to like and subscribe our YouTube channel. Take care. Allah Hafiz.